Hey guys, got the big 500L back, the Fiat 500, so the guy says his rear brakes are still squeaking away, so we didn't do anything with these at the time. We changed the spring, so we put a new spring in up there, and there is a wee noise for it. I think it's just the bearing. But everything seems to be turning freely. So it's maybe just the bearing. You can see the spring's not jiddering when it's turning. And the bearing seemed okay. I maybe should just have changed it, but we were just trying to keep the cost in on the car because the guy had, well, he's just spent a load of money and he's obviously shouldn't have to be here at the minute, so it had a new strut, spring and all that on this side. Obviously seen all that. If you've seen the other video then you've seen how bad it was left. So we fixed the bolt, we fixed the spring, we fixed the bits that were dangerous on it, and the customer was getting fed up with the, oh, he's actually got a puncture now as well, so we'll need to fix that for him if he wants it fixed. So it's a puncture on the rear, and we'll need to strip these down and see what the guys did. Hey guys, so we've taken the bolts out. I can see the slides are free, so we'll see how tight this caliper is. Handbrake's off, it's back in the stop there. Guys bust the boot, I think. The boot's all bust on the caliper, so if you don't pull these away from there and put a bit of grease under them, what happens is they start to twist and they start to tear. So you can see the brake pads there. Let's see if they move. Solid, absolutely solid, guys. Right, that one moves. But for something that's just been fitted, guys, and you can actually see, look, they've not even bothered cleaning. What they've done is they've buffed the pad down. You can tell. So look at how hot the pad's been getting. So let's move on to this side. So again, the slides, well, that's free, but it's not the best. That one's free. Caliper doesn't seem to be binding any. Again, I think that bit's slightly damaged as well, just in there. So let's see, obviously we can see how worn that outer pad is compared to that one, right? These ones, did they move at all? Barely! Oh, there you go, I managed to get that one, but I've chipped that one a wee bit. So I'll maybe speak to the customer, see if he just wants to put a set of pads on it, because like that's not even moving, he's solid. So these have just been fitted, guys, I mean, the guy shouldn't be back here having to spend more money, but yet he is. He shouldn't have had to be in here getting...
They're fitted elsewhere.
They were fitted elsewhere, aye, they were fitted elsewhere, it wasn't me that fitted them. Right, so what I would do if I was fitting them, right, obviously I'm now going to need to take a hammer to that, which I don't like hammering brake pads, to be honest with you, but I've been left with no choice. So that should be able to move freely. Jesus Christ. So you can see all that orange in the pad is actually starting to get that hot, that it's starting to break up and disintegrate there, so I'll speak to the customer, see what he wants to do. We'll pull the trims off and we'll just see if he cleaned underneath. Oh no, because it's all rusty in there. See that's rust in there, so he didn't bother doing that. Alright, well there you go. So if you don't clean any of this up, then thing is these have probably got some sort of warranty on them, maybe a year's part warranty, so but it's not the parts, it's the fitment. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. We'll clean all these up and then we'll come back and let you see how it should be done. So it looks like it's the exact same on this side, guys. Oh Jesus. Yep. Not been cleaned at all. Pads have just been buffed in and hammered in by the looks of it. So I will need to ask how long that was, but I don't think it's been very long, to be honest with you at all. It's actually worn the disc, look, there's a lip worn into the disc already, and it will do if you're constantly, it's like the brakes are constantly on. There you go, so that's what happens if you don't clean them. So this side would take a hammer to get the pads out. I can hear that wee noise through the front, but it'd probably just be that bearing up there. It all seems to be turning okay. So it all seems to be turning okay. The spring is not jiddering, so yeah, we just need to leave that in a minute, I think. It's not horrendous, so but the brakes Shouldn't be here now. Should not be here just now getting these done. So the slides are free. Obviously we know they've damaged the bits. So the way you do it is clean everything up and then you won't have this issue. The brakes need to go on, yes, but when you let the pedal off they should release and allow this to spin freely, which it wasn't. Right guys, I've cleaned up all the carriers, wire brush, some deburring tools, cleaned the shims as well, deburring tools and the wee belt sander there just to get that clean, and also the wee edges. Sometimes you can't even get the wee deburring tools and all that. I don't know if it's meant to, but I get a wee triangle shaped file, so I'm getting rid of the file. I've cleaned up the hubs for the wheels as well, and we're going to do the puncture on the other side. So we'll get the shims back on and get the pads in grease. So the customer's going to try these rear pads, and what I had suggested there on the phone was that if it's happening on a long journey, then we can obviously make these free so that they're working correctly, and if they're still squeal, then what I would do personally is I would go back and speak to the customer, speak to the garage that fitted them, and give them the opportunity to replace them under warranty, and if he wasn't comfortable then just ask for the parts, you know. If he didn't want them to fit them then just ask for the parts under warranty. Yeah, unfortunately I shouldn't be back here, to be honest with you, needing this work already, not when they've just been replaced. So the puncture, can't blame the guy for that. You know, a wee puncture anywhere. It's funny it's put like a ring around it, but we'll get that out of there. So all cleaned up my side as well, cleaned all the hub, brake cleaned it all as well. We will take these slides. I don't know if maybe somebody sprayed like a spray grease on here, like maybe the guy's been back saying, oh, they're squealing, and they went, I'll give them a wee lube for you mate, but really what they did was just, because it's no corrosion, it's definitely grease, honestly do, I think somebody sprayed just white grease just in the vicinity of the brakes, to be honest. So there you go guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that big thumb, hit that subscribe and have a great day. Right guys, so we need to build all of this up. I've greased these as well. Right, you can see the copper grease in there, and that's how your brake pads should be, like Pac-Man, so they should be able to move freely. Obviously this one's worn down, but look, it's still like brand new. They've only been fitted a couple of weeks ago or something like that. So we'll see them again. So we'll see how they go. If they still squeal, then like I said, probably best just come back to the guy that fitted them. So, but he's lost faith for that guy, so they should do a wee bit. So the exhaust on it is pretty knackered. It's rather pricey as well, and they said they'd have to special order it, so I don't know if it's because it's the 500L. Anyway, we're going to crack on here and we shall get these all done. Right guys, so we just need to put this one down there and torque the wheels. That's how they should spin, nice and free. Obviously we've not pumped up the brakes yet, but you can see we've did the puncture there. It's all good, no more leaks there. We've got a little bit of fluid around it, so there's no more leaks, so we'll snip off the... Hey guys, so I'm not sure what happened there. So obviously we'd mentioned the spring, it all seems intact and there's nothing loose. I think it's just the bearing that's maybe a little bit noisy. The rear brakes we've did, nice and free now. We've did that puncture as well there and snipped that off, so that's all good. So also this outer pad here is a bit more worn than the rest of them, but they've not long been fitted, so we'll just get the big torque wrench now, torque the wheels. And I believe it's happening on a long journey. They're starting to squeal at the rear, so we'll not be going any long journeys in it. We'll just give it a once round the block and make sure it's working as should. And what I'd recommended to the customers is if it was still doing it, then I'd maybe go back and speak to the garage that that fitted them originally and see if they'd maybe do your parts warranty on it. No, it shouldn't need the parts warranty, but if they've not been fitted right, here we are. So there you go guys, have a big fun, okay? Hit the subscribe button down there. Have yourselves a great old Friday, okay? Right, so the big L had a message for daytime running lights. So the way you get it is take this little cap off, see little plastic screws. There's one down there, I think that's just to get into the bumper if it had that, but it doesn't. So, and then it's in there, and there's a little rubber cap as well, so don't forget to put your rubber cap on. And it's just like a bayonet fitting in there, so it's just like just twist it anti-clockwise and out it comes. So that's that wee cover back on. Let's see what happens when we put the side lights on, because I believe those are the side light bulbs as well. Right, so that should be your side lights. And they've dimmed down, see it? So they've dimmed down those ones. So if we go back to lights off, yeah, they go a little bit brighter. So that's the daytime running lights fixed. So there you go, so this is a little bit noisy, this bearing, so I'll speak to the customer about that. I had the bearing here, I had a bearing and an anti-roll bar linked for it, and I deemed at the time the bearing seemed okay, but yeah, it's a wee bit noisy, so it is what it is, isn't it? So yeah, I'll speak to the customer, see if he wants to do it. Hey guys, big Fiat 500L, big exhaust, couldn't get it anywhere, so we've got it through the main dealer, got it for Fiat, so it's taking a long time, try to get the old one off. We've got a big bad boy up in the big 5-tonner. So I've had to buff through the first bolt off of the bracket, so I now need to try and remove that. So the flexi pipe's all knackered, and like the centre box as well, so there wasn't much point in trying to repair it. It's knackered. It's pretty all rotten. So it goes all the way at the back. It's one piece when it's new, so I'm not sure if where it's cut, how far along it's cut. You can see there actually, so I'll try and cut it in the same kind of place so we can get it out. Get it out of the car anyway. So one other thing I noticed on it, it's not leaking at the minute, but the sump is getting, I'm not going to touch it, but the sump is getting rather rusty on it. So that is going to be something that's going to want done. Not sure if that's just little spots just starting to come through actually. I really don't want to touch. So that will need done. That might just be spots oil. Yeah, just start to come through it, so that's going to want done. To be honest with you, maybe need the exhaust back off to do it, but well, it should come off pretty easy. You probably just need to hang it down. I've taken this little support off as well, this little stiffener. So there you go guys, we'll come back when this one's all fitted on. So, start taking the stickers off it. We had to, that one's okay because it's on my sellotape. This one however, it says on it, Fiat Auto UK. Going to the Albion Centre, which is what we used to call auto parts if you were internal in Arnold Clark. You hear people talking about the Albion, that's the parts centre basically, so that's in South Street in Glasgow, so that's where they delivered that to. So we'll try and get all this off, try and get as much of it off, we'll maybe get the kettle onto it, see if we can get that off of there, plastic scraper, see if we can get rid of it. The bolt that we were struggling with, what we did is we ground down, so we flat disked the head of the bolt off it, and then I took it the other way, so that we've still got the original captive nut. So it's still got its original bracket. We've cleaned all that up, we've got a new gasket there for it, and we've got that sleeve now as well, so we're going to crack on and get it fitted. So we've got the joining section of it. So it's all rather expensive for this car, but I'm just assuming there's no, we ordered the midsection for it, it arrived, and we ordered the back box for it, and we're waiting. Phoned them back up and I says, what's happened with this box, man? It's taking an incredibly long time. They says, I don't know, we'll get Cammy to look into it. It always seems to be Cammy that has to be the bearer of bad news down there. So anyway, Cammy phoned us back and says, look mate, I'm really sorry. It's going to be an incredibly long wait for this one. It's a mistake on the catalogue. Although we can order it, it's not actually in production yet, so it shouldn't actually be on the catalogue available to order. So here we are. So we've got the new genuine Fiat one, so we'll crack on and get this fitted. Right, so we have our nice shiny stainless back box, midsection. Oh, I missed a sticker. I can see it's all wet. We'll be taking them off. Right, I'll get a scraper into that one in a minute. I've been on the scraper actually. Coming off pretty easy because it's wet. So, right, I thought this was missing, but it's not, it only has the one. I put new hardware in there, new nuts and bolts, new gasket, that is a new gasket as well. The old one, there's the old gasket there. So, you can see the bracket, there's nothing left of the bracket. Broken bolt, so there you go. So I'll let that sit. I'll put the support back on. We need to lower it down and just, it doesn't look like it's sitting exactly how it was. So I think it was tighter up. I think it was further up the exhaust, but it is what it is. I think it's fine the way it is. It's just I think the exhaust just was slightly higher up, but you're just going with memory. Obviously that one's all cut up on the floor. Good morning. We have the big Fiat 500L. So his tyres are going down. So this one I think that's an original tyre from it. So I would recommend changing that one. It is a wee bit worn. It's not too bad. A wee bit worn. Bit of perishing on it, it's not too bad. This is a Rodex, this is Arnold Clark's own brand of tyre. Same with that one. There was a new suspension arm on there, we put a new bolt and all that in it, so that should be all good. Pads and discs are okay at the moment. Yep, pads are plenty thick. I think it's had shocks and springs, this. Shocks and springs, because like they put that bolt in the wrong way. Well, it's not the wrong way, but you just keep them uniformed, man, eh? So they managed to uniform those ones. So that suspension arm's not been done, but I don't feel any play in it. It is a bit rusty, but we'll probably just leave that till MOT time, to be honest with you. The sump, however, it is... You can just see there's oil starting to come through it, so I think the gentleman wanted it serviced. You can see the filter's needing done. That's a Bosch filter once upon a time, so that's needing done. I would just recommend, we've no long done the exhaust on it, so we know that can come off pretty easy. Plus we've got all new hardware and everything, so we need to take the exhaust off it, take that little bracket off it. I'm not sure if we need the front section of subframe off it. Yeah, we need those bolts, it's in there unfortunately. If we do, I think you do need that off to get that out. I think it hits the strainer. So sump, oil and filter, and maybe just one tyre. The exhaust still in great condition, of course. It's brand new, and don't worry about that. It's meant to do that to allow the water to run out it so it doesn't rot. So and it is stainless. So yeah, rear springs and shocks all intact. Not found any play there. Rear pads and discs have been done on it. We did then strip and clean them because they weren't very well, so you can see how well they're spinning now. So, but whoever had did them in the past just didn't done a very good job. So we'll fix that issue. So that's what I would recommend. I mean, the tyres are maybe going down because of the wheels. If we can see how corroded all the alloys are, so it's maybe just leaking out the beads. So we maybe need to try and bead seal them. But I think what we do is change out one tyre on the back there. Maybe rotate them as well, actually put this one on the front with a new one on the front. This is a it's a budget R330, whatever that is. So there you go, it's not too bad, the big car. The guy has been chipping away at bits on it, so that's the best thing you can do with your cars. If you know what's wrong with them, you know, if you've got the money, just batter in and do it all. But I mean, let's face it, I mean, it can be an unexpected thing sometimes when the car goes. So you know, just chip away at it, keep your car maintained, and you won't have these big bills. Right, the big 500L, the big Fiat. So we have cleaned it all up. This is just oil that's run with me been spraying brake cleaner everywhere. So I've cleaned all my bolts as well, cleaned all the silicone off them in my joiner's pocket. Let it stay to that old sump. You can actually see the oil that's coming through it. So I've got a new one down there. I've got some silicone. You've got to take the exhaust off to get it. So you didn't need to take the crankshaft pulley off to get it off. But I've taken it off, so it's 3 bolts, tensioner, take the belt off, take the pulley off. Allows you to clean that easier, and I believe it's just going to make it easier to fit. Now, I was going to put a flush in this right before I did it, but I had to be looking in the rocker cover. I've never serviced this car before. I do see it's a very old filter on it as well, and the oil is black. So to be honest with you, there was nothing in the strainer anyway, right? There was no gunk in it or anything like that, but I just elected not to do it because I don't want any variable valve time or anything like that getting choked up on this. So, but anyway, we'll get the tap out and we'll clean out the bolt holes, and then we'll get a wipe down, because like I say, I have cleaned it all with wire brush, wire wheels, Stanley knife, scrapers. There was about 2 ton, well, I'll see if you can see some of it. See that nice big thick bit of it, so look how thick it was, eh? So it's quality stuff. Like, I don't know if it's been done before or very early in its life, or if that's just for the factory, because it'd be strange if it was a factory, because there's a big dod of silicone there, and you'd like to think that wouldn't happen when the engine's on a bench, you know what I mean? You really wouldn't, so, but the sump really rotten on it. You know, if it had been done before, I don't know what the hell happened to it, or why it was off before, no idea. But it's definitely been off at some point. Hey, so this plate's obviously fouling somewhere. I'm going to take it off. I missed a bolt anyway, so I'm going to take it back off and have a look now and see. God damn it! Hey, so that is much better. It was making an incredible racket. So this wee plate, I just had to move it, so I don't see any leaks, so that's all good. We can put this cover back on, so I had that crank pulley off. Just makes it easier for cleaning. Put this back on now. The screws were a bit rusty, so we'll give them a wee clean up. So there you go, we've got one tyre to do down there for the rear, and we're going to bead seal these other 2, and the other 3 I think actually, I'm not sure yet. So there you go, if you haven't already, hit the big thumb, hit that subscribe button, or a big squeaky compressor's finished, that's good. And hopefully this is a big Fiat 500 done.